Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us on this live recording of the Block Talk podcast here on Facebook Gaming. I'm your host, Seethrew. For those of you that don't know, I am a Minecraft streamer here on Facebook, and I started this podcast to give my community some additional content to listen to on the daily. Today, we have an awesome content creator known as Thumb Tacos. I actually met him through some YouTube videos on how to stream on Facebook, and he taught me quite a bit, actually. So today we're going to kind of hang out and chat back and forth. But first, Thumb Tacos, the floor is for you, sir. Let everybody know kind of about you a little bit, I guess.
Good morning, everyone, or wherever part of the world you're at. I'm a variety streamer, retro streamer. And yeah, I do a little bit of YouTube tutorial stuff to get people started. I'm only a beginner tutorial person on YouTube. I do not claim to be some huge streamer or anything like that, but I know I enjoy helping people and I enjoy streaming, and been doing it about a year and a half. So it's been interesting.
Heck yeah, man. That's what's up. So I reckon we're just gonna kind of jump right into some stuff, and let's see. Usually I have bullets for things to talk about, but I guess we could just
where to begin.
yeah, so I guess we could just start probably by what's a couple things like a new guy coming into streaming really just needs to know before they pull that first go live trigger.
So to everybody it's a little bit different because it depends on what game you're going to go for. So I would assume you would suggest, a game with good traction like Minecraft or something like that. And I don't know how important the exact select of the game is, or if it's more or less that reoccurring, on the same time, streaming the same time every day, having a schedule, going live consistently on time. Along with one thing I tell a lot of beginner streamers, like right off the gate, like the first thing most streamers will do when they start is they'll emulate bigger streamers. They'll see streamers that have these awesome intros and they'll hire a Fiverr artist to make them some digital fancy thing for the beginning of their streams. And beginning streamers actually hurt themselves by doing this, because in the beginning you have this little bit of a window to get people's attention, and if you spend all this money on all this flash and flare but you're not actually ready to stream, that's only going to hurt you. Your retention line in the beginning is so important. So I always suggest get rid of the intros. Just dive into your live right to gameplay. Don't do when you go live staring at your phone, messing around with that kind of stuff. Just get to gameplay, get talking. And be consistent and try to find your way through it.
I think kind of a funny thing that a lot of people, it's almost like a misconception, is they go into like someone's stream and they see that they're, getting all these star donations, and they're like, you know what? I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to do like he's doing. And I'm just going to make all kinds of money just playing video games.
Yeah, don't do it for money. If you're going to stream, that should be way on the back of your mindset, because one, in the beginning, it'll drive you nuts because first you have to get into the level up. Then when you get over that hurdle, which there's ways around it that are a little like questionable, but I mean, when you're getting that first 100, who really cares? Honestly, at least that's how I feel about it. I don't know how you feel about it, Tim, but
yeah.
I think when you get over that first hurdle and you can start making money, like the last thing you want to do is like, hey, I got stars unlocked, like donate me money. Like I want to do this full time. Like, no, don't go about it.
Gimme.
Right. I actually did an experiment on my own stream with star goals, and I found out I make more in star donations by legitly not having any kind of goal or mention of it. I've consistently every month have made more money not talking about it. So that's where I stand.
Yeah, I've done the same thing, experimenting with goals and not goals and different, just preaching about it, like, maybe like doing like a sabotage stream, this many stars, I'll do a backflip or something. Honestly, at the end of the day, the most consistent thing, like you were saying, is just not saying anything, and people are just generous on their own accord.
But really important not to forget to thank people when they donate stars.
Very true.
And I don't know if you do this or not. I would assume, do you still have your 10-year minimum yet?
What you mean?
The star settings. because you could set your minimum 10.
Yep.
And I'm not ragging on anybody for this, but I'll never understand if you understood world economics a little bit. Like, it costs a lot of money for different parts of the world to actually donate stars. So don't change that to like 50 or $1 minimum, because there's so many people that can't donate to your stream. Or I've seen it before where people have like 13 stars left and they just like, here's 13, that's all I got left or whatever.
Yeah.
That minimum thing, I don't want to dive into financials too much, but like I see that they'll set it to like 50 as a minimum. It's like, why? I'm like, you ever stream on Twitch? It's 1 cent, one bit. It's like the minimum.
Yeah, and then I guess. No, I mean, yeah, that's a great point for sure, because people don't really. What was I getting at? I already lost my train of thought. No, you're fine. You're fine, man. I was trying to. God, I don't know. Late, but I'm here. What's up, Trey? God, what the heck, dude? I freaking just had a brain fart.
So we were on the subject of star goals and all that kind of stuff, and running them or not running them. I know they don't necessarily hurt having a star goal on your stream, or if you do something funny, like you were saying, you raise money to do a cartwheel or shave your head or whatever.
Yeah,
that's all fair game. I did the sassy calendar 1 month to do an experiment, and now I have to make a questionable calendar.
Have you ever done a charity stream, like to the point to where you actually have the donate button on your live and all that type of thing?
So I've seen me and partner streamer. Well, he's not partnered. He's a partner streamer in our group with the Secret Taco Society, Fun Blender. We had a very close friend of ours within our community go through a really rough time, and we did the link. We did the link thing. He did the link on his stream, and it did okay. And I was posting the link, but I found out if you refocus people on stars, you can actually make more money for the cause. But then people have to trust that you're going to put the money where it belongs. So we've raised money for Music is the Cure, which is coming around in February, which is a great local charity that I know where that money goes. So I like doing charities like that where I'm raising money for something local.
That's pretty cool, man. Yeah, I've done a couple in the past, and I don't do them very often, but my sister went through she, not to go a little dark here, but she had a kid and unfortunately passed away as soon as she was born. So I'm a big advocate for mothers that have lost children and stuff like that. So that's usually kind of my direction that I go with charity stuff for sure.
Sure. And I think that resonates too, more true to the streamer. If if you're passionate about something that hits home, then it means more to you. You're going to give more effort towards whatever you're raising. So
yeah, and then that's kind of what drives me to keep going and keep pushing, like those charity streams where like we might have raised like $1,000 or $1,500 for that charity, and it's just like, imagine that same sort of generosity, but with 100 times more people. Like how much you could honestly like change the world with the power of being a large streamer.
It's amazing to like, when I think about even being the size that I am, like I'm not, like I said in the beginning, I'm not a massive streamer by any means, but it's amazing how positive of a force a small stream can generate. Like the amount of money I've raised, more money streaming for causes that I care about than I have my whole life, when I asked friends and family, because you have such a bigger reach, and more, people are pretty giving, when you need their support.
Yeah.
To segue off this a little bit, because we were talking about beginner streamers, one thing I see a lot of beginner streamers do, I don't know how you feel about giveaways, but I feel like when you first start out, I think too many beginning streamers like focusing on giveaways.
Yeah.
And you start losing, like you're throwing away money at something where you don't have an audience, in hopes that you'll get a big view spike to raise money.
Yep.
To give them something or whatever else. I don't know why I segue into this. Like, here's something really positive. Let's turn this into a negative. But
no, we're just riding the wave, man.
I feel like I don't know. Giveaways are always kind of weird in that, like, so I look at like donation streams different than like giveaways or whatever else. But like if you're looking at either one of these, I guess my point. Let me get my brain. I'm
very guilty for the grow with the giveaway thing. Absolutely.
Well, and there's nothing wrong with it, but I always feel like I see a lot of people do it and they just lose money and they lose viewership anyway, because people roll in, they'll take advantage of the situation, and then they jet and they don't come back. And it's like, why can't I grow? It's like, well, they're only there because you're giving them something. Like, you got to have them come there because they want you, not your giveaway, you know? Like,
right. Yeah.
Only in the beginning. Only in the beginning.
Yeah, I've given away a lot of stuff, man, for that very, yeah. And then I used to host, back when I played Apex and streamed Apex, I used to host tournaments every weekend, and that was kind of how I grew to get my supporter badge. And more or less, it was a $50 payout like every weekend for me. Sometimes I get donations for it, but majority of the time it was just me paying $50, and I was like, God, I can't afford to do this for much longer at $200 a month for these tournaments.
So was that putting you in a hole a little bit, or like was it a negative experience for you?
No, I always thought about it. I mean, I don't keep tabs on it too much, but pretty much every dollar I invest into the stream, it's like investing in your own business. You know what I mean? Like, you get whatever you get and reinvest. And honestly, not until as of real lately, I've actually went into the positive over the course of almost like 2 years, pretty much.
Sure.
So it's all been put in, and now I'm finally starting to get a little bit back.
Yeah, since I started, it was like it's like 2/3 gets reinvested on my end for whatever, you know. First thing I had to do was upgrade a PC because I was streaming on an old Mac that could barely handle it.
Oh, geez, yeah.
A lot of people don't consider the cost of streaming too. Like, you have to have top-notch internet. You have to, whatever you can get out of it, and it costs money. It's, that's $100 out the door right there when you start.
Yep.
Your gear, is going to cost X amount, and then eventually it'll fail. You'll have to replace it and all that kind of stuff. Like, I think people go into streaming with that false sense of like, oh, it's just like you just play games and you make money, it's free, sweet. It's like, no, there's a catch.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that don't just don't even care about the gameplay. They're just there for the entertainment value.
Yeah. You brought up supporter. Now, I don't know if some people are guarded about this subject. I would love to hear a little, and maybe you've said it on other podcasts, you don't want to go into it, but I would love to hear your tale on your like a quick rundown on your journey to supporter, because I have a feeling it's similar. Like, everybody that's reached supporter, I feel like, has a similar story.
Oh yeah, and I kind of how's this music coming along? Yeah, dude. Yeah, Josh. Real quick, I'll tell about this, and then we can go into talking about your music and stuff. So more or less, I'm sure everybody has the same, like path, just like you said, where it's like, one day you finally achieve, 250 is returning viewers is the main goal, but you finally get to that 100 and you're like, holy cow, like, I'm really not too far away from this. So you start pushing it. Like, you put 100 out of 250 returning viewers as your title for your stream. And you're like, oh, all right, man, let's go. We're going to keep pushing, push. And, everybody come back for that 1 minute view. And it's almost like you push so hard that you finally get there. A couple months later, you finally get to that point. And then as soon as you get there, me personally, I got 30 subs that day. And the returning viewers went all the way back down to like 80. And then slowly over the course of time, like, I'm down to like 22 subs now, mainly because, I don't advertise it. I have, stickers and perks for supporters, but I don't know, man. Like, as much as it is a business and you want to make as much money as you can, just advertising all that just still feels like, if people want to do it, want to support me, go for it. But I still feel like, I don't know how I feel about the whole, like, if you become a supporter today, like, at every stream, you know what I mean?
Like adding a questionable video on the head of your page, which I want to update because it looks terrible. Anyway, so the supporter journey is not fun. That was kind of like my premise. Like, you go into, if there are any streamers here in chat, and you haven't gotten supporter yet, just know that it's not a pleasant experience, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. But it's definitely like a learning experience, because you go into it so hard and you want it so bad, and it becomes consuming. And then every day you're streaming 3 times more than you normally would, and you're promoting, doing the self-promoting kind of nonsense.
Yep. Very
But it
true.
is so unpleasant. So what I did was I was a variety streamer, but I decided to, for like a month and a half straight, only play Super Mario World every day.
Yep.
Same game over and over and over and over. And we slowly built it up, and then we got it. I was like, sweet, it's done. It's finally done. You feel this relief, and then you watch your returning viewers go down, and you're just like, oh, I'm so terrible. And thank God they don't take it away, right? Could you imagine how many times you?
Oh my God, dude. I've actually thought about that too. Like, like as soon as I got it and it went to like the next week, it crashed. I was like, oh God. I was like, please don't
go.
take it away. I hope this is a obtain it and keep it forever type of scenario.
Right.
Luckily it is though, for sure.
Yeah, trying to push for supporters was a really interesting.
It was a variety of Mario, and more Mario.
Hi, Barry.
That's great.
Well, I tried to be as creative as I could. I had like controller flip and like all this stuff where people can mess with me, but yeah, it was. And now every time I play Mario, my most truest fans will come in and be like, "Mario again?" It's like an inside joke, making fun of me playing the. I still love Mario. I mean, it's kind of my niche.
Yeah, I love Mario too. Absolutely.
I noticed.
Actually, so I have the Knockspot set up in my stream to where people can actually like exclamation buy-in 64. So like just middle of my Minecraft stream, like someone will claim that with their currency, and I'll just swap over to the 64 emulator and like knock out a level on Mario 64 or do like a race on Mario Kart. And
nice.
Last night I just ran through like the entire last course of Mario Kart and 4 for 4 first place, and I was like, I still got it. Those bots on that game, by the way, they did not know how to make bots back in the day. You'll have like a full half lap lead on someone, and all of a sudden they're just right behind you again. Like, what?
Yeah, as much as it helps you, it hurts you in that game. I've lost more hair playing Mario Kart than any other game in the planet, I think. to be 100% honest.
Yeah, yep. I feel that. And then I've recently been getting into trying speedrun tactics and stuff on Mario 64, and that's just a whole nother beast.
Oh my God, the speed. So I'm retro, so I see a lot of these guys that are speedrunners and everything. And I was like, I get people in my chat all the time, like, are you speedrunning this? Are you a completionist? Are you gonna get all this? Like, no, like I'm barely a gamer. Like here's a stone cold pop out, and like
that's funny. Yeah, some of your animations and stuff on your stream, like that's like I highly encourage anybody just to go watch Thumb Taco for all of a half hour. In that half hour, though. It is rough around the edges.
X-rated, by the way.
Yeah, 18 and older, but definitely go give him a peek if you haven't, man. His link, like I said, is in the description right here as well. Definitely go give him a check out, because he will inspire you to take your stream to a totally different level.
I do. That's one. If there's one thing I can take a little bit of claim to, is I really try to stand out and be a little bit different than the average. You're gonna play a game and get serious about it. I'm not like people that bring up facts and stuff on gaming. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. Cool. Like, oh, you don't know this? No, I'm not. I mean, I love video games. I love that era of video gaming, like the retro stuff, like basically anything from like NES up to like 64 PlayStation is my wheelhouse.
Right.
And the modern stuff, like I get suggestions all the time. Make sure you play this modern game. It's really cool. It's like, no, I like first person shooters nowadays. Like the highest I'll go is Halo 2. Like I won't do Call of Duty or any of that stuff, because like they're all the same. To me, it all looks I don't know, same. You're gonna run and gun this guy. Okay, cool. And then
and if you can just get your if you can just get some reach, I mean, people really like that. People really cling to that retro style, especially. I mean, just such a huge crowd of people like old games, because that's where it all started, man. So it's just all about getting it out there, and that's the tough part with Facebook for sure. Luckily, they have that retro gaming tag now, which is pretty cool. Honestly, I did not know about that until I ran into you.
Yeah, it's still a work in progress. They got to grow that sucker up quite a bit, but it's getting there.
Yeah, and then ultimately, it's all up to you guys as retro streamers to grow it ultimately. That's pretty.
One thing go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say it's pretty wild. Sure.
I think I don't know how the Minecraft community is. I've never met a bad Minecraft streamer. So every one of you I've run into have been pleasant. The first one I met was Zuchi. I think that's how you say his name. And I think you know him too. And we were talking way back in the day in Shockter, as we mentioned before. And I've never had a bad experience. So that community of Minecraft streamers, I always feel comfortable rating and doing, communicating with that. The only negative communities I've ever seen has always been around the modern gaming edge. And I'm not trying to knock it. Right. I don't know if that's a generational thing or a lack of respect or what it is, but
I think it's just a toxic thing that you just acquire when you're playing those kind of games. Because I used to be that way when I streamed Apex all the time. I used to be super toxic.
I was gonna the motion of after you kill somebody doing a certain thing like that.
Oh yeah. Hey, that stems back to years and years and years ago. That I feel like that's an acceptable motion in gaming.
I like that. That's the silver lining. Like, no, that's still acceptable to do that.
Right. Oh, you know what's funny? Last night when I was playing Mario Kart, I was coming to the flag and I was like, let's get this dub. And I was like, said no person in the 80s ever that, or the 80s or 90s ever. Like, if you would have said that in the 90s playing Mario Kart, your friends would have looked at you and been like, what the heck are you talking about, dude? What's a dub?
I
trying
show
to get
my
some
age.
Wheels?
I show my age way too much on stream because people will shrink, they use, like, even you did it earlier today. You're like, oh yeah, we're going to be in the VC. I was like, oh, VC, what's that now? Oh yeah, voice chat. Those kind of things like hang me up all the time. And I always blame it on my color blindness. So when I'm streaming, somebody writes something in chat. I'm like, oh, I didn't understand you because I'm colorblind. I was like, what? It's like, oh, just roll with it. It's fine.
Yeah, I've had troubles with that too. Like for the longest time, SMH, shaking my head. I was like, what is SMH? Like, sure might hurry? Like, what? What does that even mean?
Some monkey ham. All right, cool.
That's funny. So let's talk about your music, man, for sure. I'm sure people like to hear about it.
All right, so now I'll make this quick. If you guys are streamers, I'm part of a label that has launched a whole entire library of copyright-free music for streamers and content creators. So if you go to www.rad-audio.com, you can stream any of these songs on any one of your favorite, providers, Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, all that good stuff. This was something that I noticed when I started streaming. So I come from a band background, and I do a lot of self-production here, and I added that stuff to my stream. But as I kept going, I noticed people were getting flagged for copyright stuff. And then there was, and I'm not talking crap about it, but there's other providers of copyright-free music that, like, you have to pay for a subscription to use it, which is fine. I understand that business model and people want to make money, but I was like, you don't have to charge people. You can do this for free. So that was the motivation behind it. I saw a need for music creation for people to use on their streams. So I encourage anybody to check it out. It's a lot of electronic digital stuff. I have one metal album on there right now, and there's a lot more coming. So over the next year, whatever that library is at right now, which is like around 100 tracks, within the next year, it's going to be over 200, and it's just going to keep going.
Yeah, if you've got the stream up, you want to type that link in the chat, go for it, man, for sure. Absolutely. I've listened to it, man. He's got some good stuff.
So get it to work.
So do you have like a team of people, like you and a couple guys? Like,
it's just me and one other guy. We wrote all the stuff together. And that's why I only stream 3-4 times a week, because it's just very time consuming.
Yeah, I bet, man. Anything post-production, like whether you're making content clips or, I mean, people don't realize how much effort and work goes into the stream outside of the stream.
Right. That is a great topic to get into too for streamers. Behind closed doors, the streaming life.
Yeah, behind closed doors.
My God, is there so much to do? Now I understand my own grind, and I feel like everybody does this differently. They have their own, avenues. But the amount of work you got to do when you're not live is so much more important. Like, going live is the last step. It's too late. Like, once you're live, just be entertaining, play the game, stay on point. But nothing you do while you're live is really going to decide if you're going to make it or break it as a streamer. It's everything you do behind the scenes,
Mhm.
networking, creating extra content on other socials, just being a productive member of, the communities of streamers too. Like this whole networking process of, one, you got to be respectful. You can't go in and blast a bunch of links, because I used to get like upset about that when people would roll into my stream and they'd blast their links right away. And now I'm more
Yeah.
forgiving, because I deal with like a lot of beginner streamers from the YouTube stuff. They'll come in,
Yeah.
and I encourage them to do it now. I don't really care. It's like you'll figure it out eventually, I think.
Mhm.
And I'm not worried if people like check them out or whatever. Like I think that letting
Yeah,
go of that is very.
you're so I like to kind of say it like, like a lot of people get upset about raids. We had a conversation about this the other day, I think with Steve Cav or someone. He asked me how I feel about raids, and like, are you afraid that your viewers are gonna leave you for the person you raid? And I personally, no, you're fine. I personally think that my community is here to stay. Like, I'm not afraid to lose anybody.
Right.
And it's like when one person's missing for the day, like I'm in their DMs, like, hey man, are you good? And then 98% of the time it's like, yeah, dude, I just, I was sick today, I couldn't come to the stream, no problem at all. And I'm just like, man, I don't, you do you. I just want to check on you, make sure you're all right, because it's definitely a family oriented thing and everybody matters for sure. Yeah.
I don't know why, but my chat is disappearing.
Yeah, it probably has something to do with the weird bitrate fluctuations today. I'm not sure what's going on.
We had a question about a block and I didn't catch it.
Oh yeah, it's what is a block on top of the piston on sugarcane farm? I must know. What the heck? It's it's an observer. There you go, Matt.
Oh, gotcha.
Observer. Yeah, go ahead. What you got?
Okay, so the rating thing. My God, if you're worried, like everybody enjoys a good raid. Like, so I'm curious, these people that are worried about. I never heard this before, so this is an interesting topic.
Mm-hmm.
I never heard of anybody not wanting to be rated, right? Like,
yeah.
Have you ever been in a position where like, oh man, I got rated again?
Yeah.
What a bunch of jerks. But
that does exist though. Especially, I dealt with that on Twitch, where we go in and we're like, Seethrew is rated with 5 viewers or something, and everybody's like, hey, what's up? We're from the raid, and then they like just ban everybody.
Really?
Like, yeah, it's like, wow, dude.
My God. Do they think it's like a fake raid or something? Like,
yeah, and
so
it's like wow, we just made you go from 5 to 10 viewers there, and then you're just gonna delete all 5 of the new viewers you just got. What the heck?
I've seen beginner streamers get like confused by raids. We actually had a pretty negative experience one time when we raided somebody because they were just confused, and I was trying to explain it in chat. And then we got one of our followers always does this thing where he's like bringing out torches and pitchforks for the raid, like it's a joke.
Yeah.
But there was a communication gap where we raided the streamer, and he was just like thinking that we had a hate raid going on. I was like, oh no, that's absolutely not what I'm doing.
This is a good thing.
But I don't think you can have it both ways. I don't think you can stream and be like, man, it's really cool to get raided, but man, I'm not going to raid anybody. I'm not going to raid anybody because I don't want to lose. Okay, first off, like you cannot have enough confidence as a streamer if that's something you're concerned about. And two, it's a circle of support. So a lot of times I'll blindly raid new streamers. I have no idea what they're going to do, and it's a risk. And sometimes my chat hates it and they get upset about it.
Yeah,
because it'll be a stream that's not English. Nobody can speak it except for a couple people in chat and everything, which is, it happens. Facebook's around the world. I can't control if somebody's name is Bob Blowfish and we go raid them and they speak Cantonese. I can't control that.
Right. Yeah, very true.
But I love supporting beginning streamers on that, right? And there's nothing cooler than bringing like a handful of people into a stream and they light up. You see them actually physically go like, like I got rated, it finally happened. And seeing that experience is why I do it, because I like to spread that positivity.
Yeah, and then you got people like Trey in the chat. He does a whole like captain of a pirate ship, like I'm being rated, man the hatches and get to the cannons type of thing. But it's hilarious because I've ran into situations like that, like rating certain new people, and they have like a skit that they do like when they get rated, and it just cracks me up. And I'm like, man, I'm really glad. And they just glow, they light up. They're like, holy cow! Like,
I think that's why I raid people. I don't know, like I certainly don't raid people. Like I've had conversations with streamers about thinking about it as like a growth tactic, and I always kind of think to myself, I'm like, well, that's silly, because then you're just trying to poach. Like you're always just like you're always thinking about what you can get out of something, or what you can gain traction from somebody else's work. It's like none of the things I've accomplished on my stream have been from like handouts like that. Everything you gotta grind your butts off.
Yeah, you gotta get everyone.
It's one thing to get to that 1 to 3 viewership, but if you're talking like 10 to 20 viewers, it's tough. You gotta be, and it's mostly how you are as a streamer. Talking to the camera, being engaging, and talking to chat, paying attention to chat. But you're not going to get it from a big raid. I've seen on Twitch. I knew a guy that got raided by, it was like 1,500 people, and he's used to streaming to like 8.
Right.
And he said it was the worst thing that could have happened to him, because he had to go through the mental negative side effect of like watching 1,400 people come in and then watch it trickle all the way back down to his usual 8 people, and then the next time he went live, those people weren't there. Well, that's because raiding isn't a growth tactic. So if you got that out of your head, then you won't worry about it when you get rated. It's cool, it's positive, it's fun, but don't think about it as a make or break for your stream. There's better things to worry about.
Ultimately, the thing I focus on, like whenever I raid, is just communicating with the streamer and see if they're like someone that I want to, just work with in the future or something like that. Like, this is cool. I like his camera setup. I like his gameplay. His stream actually looks really awesome and professional. Like, this is something we could potentially collab with in the future. Like, that's all that goes through my head when I raid somebody, for sure. I'm not out to just come and swipe up all their viewers or anything.
If you would have met me like even like a year ago, like I streamed off a really old iMac, and I had my crappy webcam, and I looked like garbage, and I was still trying, doing my best. I knew it looked bad, and I was like, it was right around that time when I started making the YouTube videos, because like, my approach came from my music background. So I was, in a band playing out gigs, and I knew how to network. So in a band scenario, if you got a gig in a town you'd never been in, I would do the networking on Facebook to get people to the show.
Right.
So I understood that whole aspect of it. So when I started streaming, I was like, oh, this is similar, just in a different light. So that's a lot of my growth came from like just kind of, being good at networking, and there's a business side to it too. I mean, if we can go into that, but that's I don't know, I kind of lost my thought there.
It happens. It do be like that sometimes.
I should be better at that. I got coffee going. It's just I went too late last night. I streamed way too late.
Yeah, and I only for missing a half hour of my normal sleep schedule this morning. I feel it. I feel it. Those 30 minutes though. It's the first time I've woken up to an alarm in over a year, probably.
I'm sorry about that. I should let you sleep.
No, you're good, man. That's all on me. That's all on me for sure. So I'm trying to think of any other things we can hit on the head here that might help out some of the streamers listening or something like that.
Anybody got any questions too? I would love to.
Yeah, if anybody's got any questions about like algo or conspiracy theories, that's
there we go. Let's go into it.
Let's go into conspiracy theories. So
let's get political too while we're.
So one common misconception is, and I kind of want to hear your input on this, is changing up games all the time messes with your algorithm. The way that I look at it is,
it'll be interesting.
What to hear my side of it?
Yeah, no, it's good though. I like this.
So from my personal experience, I think that it's not the switching up of the games that is messing with this, make believe algorithm. It's honestly, it's the viewers is the main thing. If someone follows you and watches you for Minecraft, and you're all of a sudden one day going to go play Call of Duty, if they're anything like me, I don't care about Call of Duty. I want to see some Minecraft. Like, what are you doing? So I'm honestly not going to watch you, and I'm going to see that notification, and I'm going to be like, no, I'm good. And so, yeah, I mean, I think that's like definitely a big factor. And then,
Sure.
Minecraft is the reason that it is such a highly streamable game and so simple to stream is you don't even have to watch the game. You can be 100% focused on chat, carrying on a conversation, and just having a good time, and your engagement's going to continue, and that's going to push you while you're live out to other people that watch Minecraft. But say if you're playing Call of Duty and you're tunnel vision focused, you're missing your comments, you're not engaging, you're not storytelling, you're not doing anything. So why is anybody going to watch you? And that's always been my theory on everybody, like, oh, if you play separate games, like, you're not going to get the reach, blah, 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 which obviously certain games, don't have as much reach as other games do.
Sure.
But it's not going to completely shut you down, in my opinion. What's your thoughts on that stuff?
I 100% agree with you on that, because it is a misconception. I am lucky enough to switch games and have some consistency, but also work in the realms of the retro tag a lot of times, so I have a leeway. But I'll tag Super Mario World or Zelda or whatever, and I don't really see too much of a change on that, except for like you get new people in, they want to see the games they like. And if you want to be a game streamer, then I suggest find a game you really like that has good traction and repeat play it and keep going, because then you can build a community around that game, like Minecraft, or even Call of Duty has its place. I do see that all the time too with Call of Duty players. They do not watch their chat enough. Yeah, but it's tough. It's a high demanding game, so I respect that. But when you switch, or if you decide to try to build a community around you, the streamer, like you as a content creator, you as a personality or something that they want to talk to or get to know, that is where it gets a little tricky, where you have to decide to play both sides. You have to play some variety, but you also have to find that middle ground where you're still getting enough traction, get the faces in front of you to get the attention. But it's not so much the algorithm. I think the algorithm, first off, I think they need to revamp the whole algorithm system on Facebook, because it makes streamers lazy, for one, which is a whole other basket of problems. But when you start relying on the damn thing, like it can be an issue.
Right, absolutely.
But where was I going with this? The idea of switching a game and getting punished for it. You see that all the time. Oh, why does Facebook punish you for switching games? No, it's not punishing. It's exactly like you said. The reach doesn't match the viewership. So if I'm playing Mario 3 days in a row and I get 7 people new in the chat that love Mario, and then I played Donkey Kong Country, most of those people aren't going to leave unless I impress them enough. So if you switch a game, give it a few days to at least get the attention, to give them a chance to get to know you. Right. Then when you switch out, you might get them back.
Yeah, and I think that retro category too, like, jives so much more together than, say, if you were to play Call of Duty and then go to Minecraft. I think if you were to go like, Mario, Zelda, Donkey Kong, I feel like everybody that watches all 3 of those games is totally fine with watching all 3 of those games.
For the most part. I have one supporter that just gets so fired up every time I play Zelda. Has to complain in my chat, Robbie. Love you, buddy. But he every time it's like, Zelda, like, what's the point of this game? This game's so dumb. It's like, just don't watch. All right, this is part of my wheelhouse.
And then you're like, all right, hold on. Say less, and then you just pull up like Pong or something.
Yeah, I ruined my whole chat one night because I played Peggle. Like, how dare I play Peggle on stream? So many people are upset and just like, oh, we're just gonna light up your chat with all this negativity. And like, I'm pretty loose, so it's like, all right, guys, I get it. Like, it's a dumb game, but you know what? That night I was like, I'm just gonna play this so I can talk to you guys, so I don't have to focus so much on like what I'm doing. Like, Peggle isn't a demanding game. You shoot a ball and that's it.
Yep.
But,
yeah,
but
Trey,
my mistake.
Trey says if you can build a community around you, the game win matters as much. The platform won't promote you as much, but your fans will. Got to give them something they love. Yeah, so that's definitely a huge thing. You're right on the money. Like Tacos was saying, like, if you build, if you start making friends, like, they'll follow you anywhere. You build that community, you make them friends, you build that friendship, and 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 they're going to help you with your engagement on those other games, because it's just
it's tough to get that going, though. I will say that. So don't be afraid to like ride a game out for a few weeks and then switch and then ride. Like, just make when you do the variety in the beginning, do a game for a while, and then hop around. What you're going to see is a lot of partnered streamers or full-time streamers they do a lot of variety now, because they're at a point where it doesn't matter. So there's a lot of beginning streamers that look up to partnered streamers as like a reference to how they should stream, and that's a huge misconception, because they are on a different playing field than even us at supporter level. It's a different playing field than when you start. So there's like these layers of how you should conduct your streams that I feel, and I could be wrong, this is my opinion, of course,
right.
I feel like when you start, like, you should definitely take advantage of reoccurring or replaying the same game for a while to get traction, building a community, then switch, see who comes with you, and just continue it on. It's a slog. It takes a while to this is definitely not a sprint. It's a marathon, as we all cliche say.
Right.
But it's true. Very true.
So with your views on this next topic, we both kind of have separate views here, so this might be a interesting conversation. But
hot take.
So let's talk about actually a subject that we already kind of talked about before the podcast, is how your number of viewers that you see on the screen can affect your like mentality, and your just that's like one of the hardest things to get over. And
so
go for it. Kind of tell us
This is a mental thing I'm going through currently, so this is like very fresh. I'm trying to get in the habit of not having my phone reference on when I'm streaming, so I don't see that viewer count at all, because I am, unfortunately, I don't know if it's a weakness or how you want to like say it or what it is mentally that gets to me, but seeing that number will throw me off, and it shouldn't matter. And it has no bearing on the stream whatsoever. Like, that number, whether it's 1,000 or 5, should not matter to you when you're live streaming. And I preach this all the time, but I have a hard time actually practicing what I preach. So I'm like in a new stage where I'm just like, I'm letting it go. I'm turning it off. I'm ignoring it. I have my chat reference, but it doesn't show me the live count. And I tend to do better when I'm not watching it, because you do, like, if you see a drop, then you're like, oh no, I'm doing bad. And then they can see it on your face. And if you bring any negative thoughts to your stream, or if you have any kind of negative things going on in your stream, you lose viewers instantly.
Swipe up.
Right. Like, oh, this guy's dark and I don't want to see it. And then they don't come back,
because now they've got that, personification of you as an aggravated dude because your viewers aren't right. Or you're oh man, my reach is just garbage today. Facebook, blah, blah, blah. Facebook, blah, blah, blah. Just don't do that kind of stuff, God. Man. Don't do that kind of stuff.
I've seen that. I've been guilty of that very little, thank God. But I've seen that before too, where people like go off, and they do that with stars too. It's like, I'm not going to make my star goal this month. It's like, well, don't have a star goal. Here's a great tip for all of you. Do not have goals that you are not in control of. Because that is something that is a waste of time. It's such a waste of time to be like, oh, I need to reach, I have a goal of reaching 10,000 supporters by, June. And then you only get to 5,000. You're like, oh man, I guess we'll just extend it. Like, well, what good is that? That's like building any character on your end. Like, you don't have control of that.
Yeah, very true. Only if you do, and if you do set goals, don't set them out of your reach. Yeah, absolutely. Right. Yeah, so if you normally get 50 reactions a stream, and you want to set a goal for reactions, set it at 25. And if you blow past it, you accomplished your goal plus some. And that'll just, keep you happy and keep you smiling and keep you positive.
Yeah. There's one thing I can't take credit for that. That's from Alpha Gaming from Twitch, or Harris Heller, if you've ever seen any. Most people know Alpha. That's something he talked about a long time ago when I first started this, and it's very true. And the only time I ever broke that was when I was trying to get supporter, because I was just like, I have this goal, I want to get this done, and it's awful. It makes you feel terrible.
Right.
Have a goal of waking up in the morning and not peeing on the bathroom floor, getting it all in a bowl or something. Something that you're in control of is what I suggest.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, Josh said like your 200 goal last night. Yeah, I know. I just out of nowhere, I just decided that holy moly, we got so much like right off the bat, we might be able to accomplish something. But that's see, like Josh, like that's not like a written goal, right? Like it's not posted anywhere. It's not anything. It's just more
Sure.
just a verbal thing. Like, hey, man, trying to push that interaction. Sometimes if you're just asking for a like every once in a while, you can make micro goals. If you're at 68, you're like, guys, we almost to 69. Holy smokes.
Sure.
Blah, blah, blah.
I definitely am fine with that kind of stuff. The bigger picture stuff, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I actually picked that up from a guy way back in the day. His name was 12 a.m. Bolt, I believe, and he was a Minecraft streamer a long time ago. I don't think he is anymore. But he would make those micro goals like oh guys, we have a reaction goal 20 today and we're at 15, and all of a sudden he'd get those extra 5. And then back then reactions really pushed the stream, like solid just like reactions was the algorithm booster at the time. And
Sure.
it was just cool to kind of see him like literally never shut up the whole time about reactions, and just seeing it actually work and stuff is kind of interesting, like the things you pick up off of just watching other people.
Yeah, you can learn a lot because everyone does something different and they have their own styles, and man, like get all the information you can.
Yeah. There's nothing
like,
there's nothing illegal about taking what other people are doing and putting your own twist on it and sending it. I wouldn't recommend like copying, word for word what people are doing, because that's a little like lazy, I guess, but you have to
there's gonna be a bunch of bouncing kangaroos on streams now. Damn it.
Yeah, man, you've got some of the funniest stuff going on just the whole time.
Nothing. The thing with my stream is nothing makes sense. Like the name is wacky, the stream is wacky. Like I don't know. Like I wish it was a little more of an idea,
but it works really well. And I don't know if I'm only the only person that sees that, or like as a streamer or whatnot, but I love it, dude. Like I said, like the first time I seen you, I was like, this is some crazy stuff.
Yeah, nothing makes sense. I go on these weird rants. Like last night I was complaining about the new Resident Evil movie, and I don't know. It's a free streaming is such a weird experience, man, because like I came from I was a rhythm guitarist in a band, and I was always kind of like the quiet dude, like we get done playing, people come up, talk to us, and I was never like in charge of my own destiny or whatever you want to call it. And
right
when the Mariah Carey disease hit, we all kind of hid in our bunks, and I had to figure out something to get a creative outlet out there, so I took on stream. My drummer in the band was a Twitch streamer, and I knew how to network on Facebook, so that's why I ended up here. But he taught me the ropes there. This is Brett X on Twitch. So
nice.
He's a great dude. Yeah, that's how I got my start. It was because of like the world environment.
Yeah, you kind of.
Which I think most of us started that way because of that.
Yeah, I remember when I really first even came up with the idea. So I used to run a vape shop back in the day, and one of my customers was on my Facebook page, and just so happened, I'd never seen Apex Legends and I'd never seen streaming. And actually, I think I watched Osmond Gold or something like back when I played World of Warcraft, but that was about it. But yeah, I was like, he was streaming on Facebook with this cool game that I'd never seen before, and I was like, how do you do that? And I started just like kind of picking and asking questions, and I was like, I could totally do this. This makes so much sense. Like, I feel like I was destined to provide gaming content to the world. So yeah, I just started, man. Like literally, that's a big tip too for me is if you're thinking about doing it, just do it. Stop waiting around. Like just get started. Press the go live button and see what happens. You never know. It might be something you enjoy.
It is yeah, it's a very amazing experience, but it's also like the biggest mind F you'll go through probably. There's a lot of ups and downs here, and you got to have some thick skin, and you got to keep things in perspective, because it can take a dark twist real quick.
Yep, absolutely. Cool, man. Well, if we've got any questions in the audience for either one of us, we'll take those now, and we'll probably come to closing here pretty soon, I think.
Well, thank you for having me on. I appreciate that.
Yeah, dude. We nailed some pretty good conversation for sure. And I'm actually kind of glad that my bit rate ended up leveling out, so that's good too.
Also, yeah, you get tons of conversations about the technical side of streaming too.
Oh, man.
Oh my god. Or we could talk dad gaming too, because I'm a father as well.
yeah, dad gaming. That's a whole nother thing for sure. For sure, man. Well, we'll definitely have you on again, if you would like. In the future.
This was a blast.
Yeah, just kind of hanging out, chilling, talking to people, and it's a good time, man. I love doing this.
Yeah, I could talk for hours on this subject, and I never shut up about it, honestly.
Yeah, it's actually. And this whole thing is just kind of becoming a part of my life now, like I haven't really missed. This is the 13th episode, I think, and straight that we've done every day. And I wake up in the morning, I get prepared, I do my art, and then fire up the podcast, and then kind of hit on the subject earlier of you work so hard off stream, just like 10 times more than you do on stream. I literally segue from this into making thumbnails for the stream and posting clips and making YouTube videos. Like, it's all I do all day until the night stream.
80-20 is a good ratio for that. The 20% is what gets the rest going, and we got to focus on the 20 sometimes. But yeah, we always, man, there's so much to it.
Yeah, because right after this, I'll rip this video, I'll put it in Audition, take the audio out, post it on podcast, take the video, post it on YouTube. Like, it's just like I gotta
shoot a new YouTube video as soon as we're done, and then I gotta edit that tonight because my goal is to have it out every Monday. So I'm like way behind this week. It's fun.
It's crunch time. Yeah. Heck yeah! All right, man. Well, always thanks for hanging out, everybody, and Mr. Tacos, thanks for the chat, brother.
No, it was a pleasure.
Yep, and we will see you all on the next one. Bye, everybody. See ya.
Bye. So what's your favorite brand of Cracker Jack?
Taco flavor. I like taco meat.
Taco flavored. Oh my god, I love them. Like, they got the meat on the inside with the caramel. Caramel. Is it caramel?
Caramella. Sheesh.
Snicker flavored taco meat.
Yep.